legendary babies, and today I am back with another video. As you guys can see by the title, there's a lot going on in the title because a lot has been going on this past week, and since I have a lot to say, I'm just going to jump right into the video. Okay, you guys, so I am currently 29 weeks pregnant. I'll be 30 weeks in like 3 days, but I wanted to get this video up and just do a 7th month pregnancy update and also tell you guys a story about my near-death experience while pregnant. So we got a lot to talk about in this video. So first I'm going to start off by saying from the beginning. I'm going to start off from the beginning. So about not even 2, like 2 weeks ago, I had taken the glucose test. If you guys don't know what the glucose test is, it's basically like a really sweet drink to see if you have pregnancy diabetes. I believe that's what they call it. But also with this test, they test you for a few STDs, and they also test you for low iron, or to see if you have anemia and all that stuff. So I took this test about 2 weeks ago, and I got a call from my doctor about 2 days after I took the test, and she had warned me that I'm anemic and I had really low iron. So she had told me to buy, let me show you guys. She had told me to buy these iron pills. I showed you guys the prenatals I was taking them, but they didn't have iron in them. That's why my iron was super low. Like, she said it was really low. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, like, you know, your iron's a little low. Like, no, she was like, your iron is really low, to the point where it's like dangerous to you and the baby or whatever. So I'm like, oh shoot. But I got my mom to buy me those, and I've been taking them twice a day. They're really small. I'll actually show you guys, because if you're not a pill taker like me, like I hate taking pills, these are like perfect. So they're really small. I take one in the morning on an empty stomach, and I take one right before bed. But anyway, so yeah, she told me I was anemic, and I said I had really low iron, and to basically just stay hydrated and take my iron pills, and of course still take my prenatals. Sorry you guys, that's my neighbors. I guess they're about to get in the shower, and my room is like right by the bathroom, so ignore that. But anyway, so yeah, she's like, take your prenatals, take your iron pills, and drink a lot of water. So I'm like, oh shoot, like that was a wake-up call, because I haven't really been taking my prenatals like I should be, and I wasn't taking any iron, and I wasn't drinking as much water as I should be drinking. So I'm like, okay, let me be responsible. Let me like get myself together. Like, I'm about to have him in a few weeks. Well, in a few months. So let me like get on my stuff. Sorry, I'm out of breath. But anyway, so yeah, I was doing my part. Like, I was taking the prenatals, and I was taking my iron pills, and I was drinking water, but I guess it still wasn't enough water. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I wasn't drinking enough water. But before I get into the story time, I'm going to pause it right there and just tell you guys my symptoms and what I kind of been going through, like after the glucose test. Because literally everything started to happen after I took the glucose test. Not saying like the glucose test is the cause of these symptoms, but this is just what I noticed that happened within 2 weeks after taking the glucose test. So, I'm out of breath. So the first symptom I noticed is I was starting to have Braxton Hicks, and I know that's normal in pregnancy. It's like minor contractions. They're very minor. Like, you don't feel like you're going into labor or anything, but like you could feel like the contraction, but it's not like unbearable. But I noticed I was like getting minor contractions, but like I'm not thinking nothing of it, because when I did my research, it all said like Braxton Hicks. Y'all, don't Google symptoms. Call your doctor. I'm just gonna stop there. Call your doctor, because Google will tell you anything and be so wrong. But anyway, so I was told by Google that I was having like Braxton Hicks. So I'm like, okay, like that's normal. I'm not gonna like worry or anything. I'm not gonna call my doctor and like tell her like, oh, I think I'm going into labor, or no, because I didn't think nothing of it. So I just noticed I was getting minor Braxton Hicks. I'm like, okay. And like I saw that, like I said, drink water, you know, lay on your left side to promote blood flow to you and your baby or whatever. So I did that, and it helped a little, but like I was still getting them a little bit. So I'm like, this is really weird. Another thing that I started to get was heartburn. Like, I haven't had heartburn my whole pregnancy. Mind you guys, I was eating like spicy foods. If you watched my pregnancy Q&A, I told you guys like that was one of my cravings. I was eating spicy foods up until like now. So I didn't get no type of heartburn, like I wasn't having no problems. But I recently started getting like heartburn, and they were minor at first. So I'm like, this is weird. But like, I know that's also a normal symptom during pregnancy. So I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I'm like, okay, I'm getting heartburn, you know, let me look up what's causing it, or what can I do to possibly stop the heartburn. So I look up like, what can I do? And they're like, well, Google's like, you know, after you eat, try to sit up for a few hours. Instead of just laying directly down. And I have a very, very, very bad habit of eating and then laying straight down, because that's what I used to do before I got pregnant, because, you know, I'm trying to gain weight. And how to gain weight is you just lay down after you eat and just let all the carbs and food just sit there and, you know, try to get you a little fatty. So I'm so used to laying down after I eat, I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to do that while pregnant. So literally every time I eat, that's when I was getting heartburn, but like I wasn't realizing that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop laying down right after I eat. I'm going to try to sit up. That's why I ended up, because I haven't been using this, but I ended up using that again to like force myself to sit up after I eat, because I usually eat in my bed. So that kind of like reminds me like, yeah, girl, you need to sit up, because it's not comfortable to lay on that. That's literally just for me to sit up in. So I noticed that. I also noticed that, and no, that didn't stop the heartburns, by the way. You guys will see why that didn't stop the heartburn. So I would sit up and I would still be getting heartburn, and hours would go by of me sitting up, and I'm like, okay, I'm sleepy, I want to lay down. I lay down, heartburn. Like every single time I would lay down, I was getting heartburn. Come to find out, I guess a part of it did have something to do with eating, but excuse me, I guess when like you're pregnant, your stomach shrinks, and like somehow, some way, the acid from my stomach kept coming up, which is called reflux or whatever. So I kept getting reflux basically every time I lay down, no matter if I just ate, if I ate a couple hours ago, like every single time I would lay down, I would get reflux. And still to this day, like I still get it, like no matter what, like it just comes every time I lay down, and it's so annoying. But you guys, I'm gonna get to the point of why it keeps coming. Okay, another symptom I noticed was I was having really, really low energy, and I believe this is because I had low iron. But once I started taking my iron pills, it helped. It definitely helped a lot, but I still really didn't have energy. I still don't have energy, but now I know why I don't have energy, and I will get to that. Another symptom that I noticed that I've had, mind you guys, all these symptoms is symptoms that I have accumulated in 2 weeks. Like I wasn't having none of these symptoms before these 2 weeks, other than low energy. But other than that, all these symptoms that I'm listing is symptoms that have came up within the last 2 weeks. The next one is being sleepy. I would literally sleep for 10 hours. Like I usually sleep for 10 hours or more, and I'll wake up and I'll still be sleepy. So like I'll try to do things, like I'll try to clean up, I'll try to package orders for customers, I'll eat, I'll like go in the living room to like sit on the couch so I'm not like just comfortable in my bed. And literally no matter what I did or what I'm doing, like I'm still sleepy. So I will sleep for 10 hours, then I'll take like a 4-hour nap, and then I'll go to bed early. Like I was just always finding myself super sleepy. Another symptom is being hungry, which is normal. I'm gonna be honest, like my whole pregnancy, I wasn't like eating like crazy like most pregnant women. Like I was just eating normally, but these past 2 weeks, I have noticed that my appetite has grown like crazy. Like I eat so much now. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, did I really just eat all that? Like if I listed what I ate today and it's only 4 o'clock, you guys would be like, what the heck? But yeah, I've been eating a lot, which is good, because my doctor told me that I'm underweight. Well, I was already underweight while pregnant, but now she's like, I need to gain more weight, because my baby's gaining more weight and he's getting bigger, but I'm personally not gaining any weight. So like, you guys are gonna find out why, but that plays a part in what's gonna come when I tell you this story. But yeah, so I'm really tiny and he's growing like how he's supposed to be growing. He's the right weight, he's the right size right now, but I'm still super little, which is a problem because he's running out of space. And if he's running out of space, he's gonna try to come out, and we're gonna get to that. So yeah, another symptom I noticed that I've had in these past 2 weeks is back pain. I'm not gonna say I didn't have any back pain my whole pregnancy. I definitely have had back pain depending on whatever position I was laying in, sitting in. Like, I've had back pain, but these past 2 weeks, it has been like so bad to the point I like want to cry almost. Like, the back pain has been crazy. That's why I've been trying to sit up, but like, it's like no matter what position I am, my back is hurting. Like, literally me sitting right here, my back is low-key hurting, but you know, I'm trying to thug it out. But yes, like, back pain has really been up there, but it's normal. Like, everything that I've Googled, even though you're not supposed to Google anything, call your doctor, but everything that I've Googled, like they said, it's normal. You're gonna have back pain, you know, kind of just deal with it. And the last symptom that I've noticed that I accumulated within these 2 weeks, mind you guys, 2 weeks, these symptoms were accumulated. But the last one is sleepless nights. Like, I sleep a lot. Like I just told you guys, I sleep a lot, but I've noticed like, the only time I would usually wake up is when I have to use the bathroom. And if you're pregnant, you know, you go to the bathroom like 4 to like 10 times a night. Like, you're constantly having to use the bathroom. But I noticed like I will wake up, not even have to use the bathroom. I'm just up, like just looking at the walls, like looking crazy. Like, because he's so active now when I'm sleeping. Like, no matter what position I sleep in, how I'm sleeping, if it's warm in my room, if it's cold in my room, like, I'm just always waking up in the middle of the night, and it's because he's moving so much and it just wakes me up. So those are the symptoms that I accumulated in these 2 weeks. Comment down below, because I know a few pregnant ladies follow me. So comment down below if y'all have experienced any of these symptoms, or if you understand where I'm coming from. If you have any tips on what I could do, let me know. Another thing I wanted to speak on before I get to the story time is I have no stretch marks. I know I'm pretty early. I'm only 7 months, and I'm out of breath. And it is possible for me to still get them once I have him. But I just wanted to show you guys a product that I've been using, and the product that I think is the reason why I don't have any stretch marks. So I came across a TikTok like a few months ago, and this girl was talking about bio oil, and she said it's really good for like dark spots, stretch marks, scars, uneven skin tone, aging and dehydrated skin, all that good stuff. So I've been using this on my face and my stomach, and I just want to show you guys my stomach. Like, I literally have no stretch marks, and I put this on twice a day. I put it on depending on when I take a shower is usually when I put it on. So if I take a shower in the morning, after I get out the shower, I'll put it on. And then before I go to bed, I'll put it on. If I don't take a shower in the morning, I'll just put it on when I wake up, and then put it on again after I take a shower. And that stuff, I think that's the reason why I don't have stretch marks. I don't know, but I've been using that. So I highly recommend, ladies, if you are starting to notice stretch marks, to get that. Or even before you start to notice stretch marks, I highly recommend getting that, because I also seen someone use that in their postpartum video, and she said that it helped get rid of most of her dark spots and stretch marks that was on her stomach. So get onto it. And I think I paid like $14, if that. Like, it was super cheap. I know you could buy it in Target, but I didn't see it in Target, so I ended up ordering it on Amazon. I'll put the link to the bio oil down below. The next part is the story time. So I just wanted to get all the symptoms out the way and kind of just give you guys a mini update, because I know I said I was going to give you a mini update in my last video, and I really didn't give you guys one. So here's the real 7-month pregnancy update. 29 weeks. I have 11 more weeks to go, but once you hear this story, it might not be 11 weeks. So we'll see. So let's jump into the story. 2 days ago, I haven't took my hospital band off yet. I don't know why, but I still have my hospital band on. Just a little proof so y'all don't think I'm capping, because I don't ever come on here capping. But anyway, he's kicking me hard as heck. But anyways, 2 days ago, I had a very traumatic and call me dramatic, but a near-death experience. I literally felt like I was about to die. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you guys what happened. So I woke up perfectly fine, perfectly normal. I ate breakfast. For breakfast, I had 2 bowls of cereal, Frosted Flakes to be more specific. So I ate 2 bowls of Frosted Flakes and I laid down. And I know I said like I was doing good with not laying down, but I was just super, super tired this day. And now I know why, but I was like super tired. I was super weak and I was like, F it, like I'm just gonna lay down. And that's when the heartburn was like excruciating. Like it was so, so, so bad to the point like I low-key want to cry. But like I'm on the phone with my sister ended up calling me. I'm on the phone trying to talk to her. The whole time we're on the phone, I'm having this heartburn, but you know, I'm trying to help her with some business stuff. So like I'm trying to like ignore the heartburn. But like I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? And I'm telling her like I'm having a heartburn right now, blah 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 blah. She's like, you know, it's normal. Like she's trying to talk me through it to like calm me down. But I'm like, no, this ain't right. Like this is like really, really bad to the point where it's like it's not bearable. And I never had a heartburn that wasn't bearable. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? So anyways, me and her get off the phone, and literally, I kid you guys not, as soon as we got off the phone, I started having contractions. Like it wasn't Braxton Hicks, it wasn't like little cramps, like it was full-blown contractions. But like I'm like the type of person where I kind of just go through pain and hope that it goes away. Like I don't like going to the hospital. I don't like going to the doctors. Like I don't like it. Like if I can avoid it, I will, especially since Corona and stuff. Like I really try to avoid going to the hospital and doctors if I feel like I don't need to. So I'm in so much pain, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out. So I'm out of breath. But yeah, so I'm having really, really bad heartburn, and then I'm contracting. But it's like I couldn't feel how bad the contractions was because the heartburn was so bad. Like the main thing that I'm feeling is the heartburn. So finally, once the heartburn calmed down, that's when I really start to feel the contractions. And I'm like, whoa, like this is sick. Like it hurt to the point like I'm crying. Like there's literally tears coming down my eyes. But I'm like, you know what? And I'm home by myself. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep thugging it out. I'm gonna keep thugging it out. So then me and my brother live in the same building, and he just randomly like decided to pop up on me. Thank you, Jesus, this was literally God sending him here. Like he came to check up on me, and he said when he came here, I looked like I was dying. Like I was pale. I was like super pale. And like I just looked like I was dying. And he said like I looked dehydrated. So he was trying to give me water, but like I couldn't drink the water. Like I don't know why. I feel like I was so dehydrated and so weak. Like trying to drink water was literally making me feel worse. So like he's like, no, we're going to the hospital. We're going to the hospital. I'm like, no, like it's okay. I could thug it out. I could thug it out. But he literally, sorry y'all. He literally was like, no, like you look terrible. We're going to the hospital. Excuse me. So he drove me to the hospital. We get to the hospital, and at this point, like on our way to the hospital, like I'm crying. Like it's not like, but like there's tears coming down my face, and everything's starting to look a little dizzy, a little foggy. Everybody was blowing up my phone, and literally like I couldn't even hold my phone. Like I had no energy to hold anything. I'm just like, please God, let me make it to the hospital, because I feel like I was about to die in the car. So I'm like, God, just please let me make it to the hospital. Like I just felt like I don't even know how to explain the feeling. Like I literally, like if that's what death feels like before it happens, like I kid you not, I feel like I was about to die. So we get to the hospital, and he lets me off. We're on the emergency side, and thank God I didn't have to wait or anything. Like I guess when you're pregnant, you're a priority. So as soon as we got there, the lady put me in a wheelchair, and she rolled me up to the labor and delivery emergency room. And literally like this lady is talking to me like I'm dying, I'm crying, and she's trying to ask for my name and my address and emergency contact. I'm like, lady, I know you see me dying. So thank God the nurse came, and she's like, you know what, we're gonna fill this out later, like come on, like she needs to come to me. Like I'm literally in the wheelchair, like dozing off, like, and this lady's trying to keep asking me questions. Like, so whoever that nurse was, if you see somebody damn near about to die, the last thing you need to be worried about is their name and their address. Like, get that information once you try to save them. Trying to like talk to me and I'm over here dying and stuff. So thank God the nurse came and she's like, you know, she's trying to ask me questions, but literally I could not talk. The heartburn was back. The contractions are now 5 times worse than they were when I was in the house and in the car. So I'm like, is he okay? Because like now I'm scared because my son moves a lot. Like, I think I told you guys this, like he moves a lot. So I don't know if it was because so much was going on because my head was over the place, but I'm like panicking because I'm like, I haven't felt him move. Like, is he okay? Like, is he moving? Like, what's going on? Like, am I having an abortion? Like, not an abortion. I'm like, not an abortion. I'm like, am I going through a miscarriage? Like, why am I even cramping? Like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And she's like, it's okay, calm down. Like, you gotta calm down. Like, I'm literally like panicking, probably already about to pass out because I was dehydrated. Come to find out. But anyways, I'm super hyped and she's just like trying to calm me down. Another nurse came in, like they're trying to calm me down. They're like, we're gonna hook you up to the machine. We're gonna check on him and everything's gonna be okay. So they set me down. They told me to take off my clothes. I put on the hospital gown and they hooked this thing up. They hooked my stomach up to like, not an ultrasound, but like a microphone. I don't know. Basically, they hear a baby's heartbeat. His heartbeat was perfectly fine. So they're like, no, like he's fine. He's fine. Like now that we know that he's fine, we need to see what's wrong with you because clearly you're not fine. So, they drew my blood. Mind you guys, I'm not in the right headspace, so my memory's a little blurry about everything. But I remember her like one person on this arm drawing blood, one person on this arm putting an IV in my arm because come to find out I was dehydrated. So once the IV fully like gets in me, she gave me some apple juice and she gave me crackers. And once all that stuff got into me, like literally the whole IV was gone in like, like I kid you not, like 30 minutes, the whole IV was in my body. Like that joint was pushing in there. And once the IV was in me, like I came back to life. I had color to my skin. Like I felt great. So I'm like, what's going on? Like I'm back here, like I'm back alive. I'm good. Like what's going on? And she's like, yeah, we believe you. She said you were very dehydrated. And I'm like, how? Like, I'm like, how? Like, I've been drinking water. I'm like, yeah, I be drinking like 2-3 cups a day. And she's like, 2 or 3 cups? She's like, 2 or 3 cups? Girl, you need to be drinking 8 to 10 cups. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to be drinking that much water? I'm not really a water drinker. And it's kind of like impossible for me to just sit and drink water. But she's like, no, you were super dehydrated. Like, super dehydrated. Like, if you would have waited any longer to come to the hospital, like God forbid, like you would have probably passed out. Like basically that's how dehydrated I was. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I'm like, is he okay? Like what's going on? I was cramping. And she's like, I'm gonna check your cervix. And she checked my cervix. Come to find out, he's literally pushing his head down on my cervix. So the cervix has 2 openings, and where the baby head is, that opening is closed, which means I'm not dilated, thank God. But the opening near my vagina, it started to open a little bit. She said it's like 1 inch open, and this, I guess the liquid, yeah, I'm not a doctor, but I'm trying my best to explain. But I guess the liquid inside of my cervix was like my cervix is soft and the liquid is like, I don't know, basically it means like he's gonna come soon. So I'm like, before she checked my cervix, once I like wasn't dehydrated anymore, I was still having really, really bad contractions. So the heartburn went away, but I was still having bad contractions. And they gave me a pill to basically, I was going into labor. I was basically going into preterm labor, and they gave me a pill to stop it. Thank God, because once I took the pill, like 20 minutes later, the contraction stopped. So after the contraction stopped, that's when she checked my cervix, and she basically told me like, yeah, well, she didn't say it right away, but she's like basically trying to like tell me, like, she didn't really tell me at this moment. She's actually like, she swabbed me, and she's like, yeah, we're gonna go run tests on your cervix, you know, make sure everything's okay. And they also gave me a test to make sure like I didn't have a UTI or whatever, because that can also cause cramps or whatever. So like an hour went by. She came back and she's like, yeah, the test results came back and it says that you could possibly have him in 2 weeks. And I said, 2 weeks? Are you sure? Like, that's crazy. Like, are you 2 weeks? He's not supposed to be here for 2 months. So like, what do you mean 2 weeks? She's like, yeah, basically like he's trying to force his way out. Basically, like that's what it is. He's already in the position to be delivered and he's literally like trying to force his way out or whatever. So she's like, that's why I was contracting. Not only because I was dehydrated, because being dehydrated can cause you to have contractions, and with me being anemic, that can also cause me to go into preterm labor. So it's very, very risky. I am high risk at this point. So I'm trying my best to like be calm, stay hydrated, and I'm on bed rest until he comes. So anyway, so she's like, yeah, he's most likely gonna come in 2 weeks or a little bit after 2 weeks. So just prepare yourself, basically. And I'm like, okay. So she's telling me like what to expect when I do go into labor, if I do go into labor, and like what to do. And she's just like, just prepare myself and, you know, get my house ready for him and stuff like that. So I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I'm thinking I have 2 months, you know, have my baby shower and have a maternity shoot, you know, like I have time to like get my house together. But now I'm finding out he could be here in 2 weeks. Like, that's crazy. So she's like, yeah, he's probably gonna come in 2 weeks. So yeah, like that's literally all she's saying. Like, yeah, he's probably gonna come in 2 weeks. So, you know, just prepare yourself. So I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. Like, is he gonna be okay? She's like, he'll probably have to be in the NICU for a few weeks. Since he is a good weight right now, it won't be long, because right now he's about 3 pounds, if not more. And I believe you have to be like 4 pounds to like be able to go home or whatever if you don't have no other problems. So weight wise he's good, but like he'll still have to be in the NICU for a little bit, which sucks. But yeah, so she's just like telling me like basically prepare myself, because the way my cervix is looking, he's coming soon. And I'm like, wow. So finally, like, you know, they gave me my paperwork. They gave me a steroid shot also, which hurt. The way the nurse did it, like she didn't count down. She literally just like stabbed me like super hard. So whatever her name was, like, I'm beefing with you, because why would you do that? But anyways, they gave me a steroid shot, which basically starts developing his lungs now. So if he is to come in 2 weeks, like he'll be okay. So I took a steroid shot, and they also set me up an appointment with one of the doctors in the hospital for the next day to get the second dosage of the shot, because apparently you have to have 2 dosages of the shot within 24 hours. So the next day, so I got discharged, went home, and I just relaxed for the rest of the day. Next day, I went back to the hospital. They gave me the second dosage. I talked to another doctor, and she basically was saying the same thing. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to necessarily say he'll come in 2 weeks, but he's definitely going to come early. But we're going to try our best to at least make sure you make it to 33 weeks. Like the earliest they want to deliver a baby is 37 weeks. But she said by the looks of my cervix, they're just going to hopefully pray that I can make it to 33 weeks. Mind you guys, I am 29 weeks and a half. So that gives me, 3 weeks and a few days. So she's like, yeah, just, you know, no sex. What else did she say? Like, no arguing, like nothing that can make my cervix soft, as in like doing the do, and also nothing that will raise my blood pressure or anything like that, which can also cause me to go into labor. So I'm like, dang, this is a lot to take in within 24 hours. So she's just like, you know, you need to be on bed rest until the baby comes, basically. And I'm just like, I'm the type of person where it's so hard for me to just stay at home. So I'm like, this is gonna be hard, especially if he comes like 3 weeks, like 3 weeks of just sitting in the bed. That's what I'm gonna have to do. But me and his health is most important, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay in bed. But yeah, so she's just like, I'm gonna be on bed rest. And this was on a Friday. Like, I went to the hospital Thursday. The next day I went back on a Friday, and I have an appointment with my actual doctor who knows my body, who knows my pregnancy, who knows me. So I have an actual appointment with him Monday. This video will already be up, but hopefully that appointment goes good. He can kind of like calm my nerves down, because all these people are talking to me, but these aren't people that I'm comfortable with. These aren't people who personally know my body, who I've been around and who has been all up in my body for the past months, like my actual doctor. So once I talk to him, hopefully he calms my nerves and he gives me good news. But as of right now, what I've been told is that he will possibly be here within 2 to 3 weeks, which is the beginning of January. He's not supposed to be here until March 3rd. So yeah, I think that's everything that I put in my notes. And also, for the final part, I want to give you guys a name reveal. I wasn't sure when I wanted to announce his name publicly on my YouTube channel because I'm very indecisive, but now I know in my heart that this is the name that he will have. His name is Bryson Santana Deloach. First name Bryson, middle name Santana, last name Deloach. That is his name. His dad came up with his first name. I'm guessing Bryson Tiller is his favorite artist. That's why he chose that name. Santana was originally going to be his first name, but someone I personally know ended up naming their son Santana. So I'm like, I'm not gonna like copy her, you know, I'm just gonna make that his middle name. And plus me and his dad was already beefing about what his first name was gonna be, so it kind of all worked out. And then his last name, he just takes his dad's last name. I might have him have my last name too. I don't really know if I want him to have 2 last names, but we'll know when the time comes. But yes, his name is Bryson, you guys. And yeah, on the wall I have this little sticker that says Bryson on it. Got off of Amazon for like $20. Super cute. But yes, you guys, that is the 7-month pregnancy update. I know that was a lot of information to take in, because we're thinking like baby B's about to come in 2 months. No, baby B's about to come in 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully he doesn't, but by the looks of it, he probably is. So I just wanted to get this video up as fast as I can, because honestly I can go into labor at any time. So I'm trying to bring content for you guys. My next video will most likely be a what's in my hospital bag video, since like I'm out of breath, since I can go into labor at any time. And even if I were to go in labor, like I won't be in the hospital long, but he will be. So I want to make sure my bag is packed. I'm not really in a rush to get his hospital bag packed, because the hospital will give me everything I need while I'm there. And if he's not coming straight home, then like I'll have time to like actually take my time and prepare his hospital bag. But I want to make sure mine was ready. So I went out yesterday, I bought a whole bunch of stuff for the hospital, and I also ordered some things. So once those things that I ordered comes, then I will make a video on what's in my hospital bag. And probably like a few weeks later, I don't know, depending on how things go, I'll post another video on his hospital bag. Also, I do plan on vlogging my labor. I do plan on recording a labor and delivery video. So if I'm able to, like I really don't know how things are going to go since I am high risk. If I'm able to, I'll definitely be vlogging it. So expect those 3 videos within the next month or so, you guys. But I love you guys, and thank you for being a part of this journey, and keep me in your prayers, because this has been super, super scary, and it has been a lot to take in. But I'm going to keep you guys posted. Follow me on my Instagram, because that's where I'll be doing most of my updates, because it's just easy to just make a post instead of making a whole video. So follow me on my Instagram. It's always in the description box. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Hopefully I have good news for you guys.